I knew once I got to this point that I would start crying. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You guys already know what this is about, so I'm not going to do any type of introduction on it. It's pretty self-explanatory, and pretty much I just want to share my experience. This is the second time I have gone through this, and to be honest, this time was way much more hard to deal with. I'm still dealing with it. It's very difficult, and I chose to record now rather than later because I still want to be in that vulnerable stage. I don't want to bring this up later on. I just want to get everything out of the way now, explain my experience, share my experience, explain it, what I've been through, and what I'm doing to cope and get over it. So yeah, this is pretty much what this video is about. I know a lot of you guys have seen my first one, which was my ectopic pregnancy video. If you haven't, I will leave it in the cards right above the screen right now. So you guys could check that one out first. That one happened about 4 years ago. But anyway, so let me get into pretty much what happened. So if you guys notice, I haven't been uploading my usual amount. Like, I've been probably posting once a week and disappearing for another 2-3 weeks and then posting again. And of course that was because I was pregnant, guys. I was pregnant. When I tell you guys my first trimester symptoms were the worst. I'm gonna try and see if I could include some clips in the video so that you guys can see, because I did record a few moments during my pregnancy. It was really hard, and I was still working, so I did have time, I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't have the motivation or the strength even. I was so tired, guys. I was always tired. I would go to sleep at 8, get home from work at like 7, eat, and then go to sleep by 8, 9. Like, I was just out of it. So yeah, I really didn't have much time to upload, but on the days where I felt energetic, I felt cute, I felt pretty, I recorded. So those are the videos that you've seen for the past 3 months. So yeah, I was pregnant, so that's why I wasn't uploading. Pretty much I was 3 months pregnant, a little over 3 months actually, and I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody because of course, I've already went through a miscarriage already, and they say not to tell anyone in case these things happen. And I was planning to tell everyone literally probably 2 weeks from now, so on my birthday. I was ready to tell everybody and just share that I am pregnant. But this incident actually happened last week. When did this happen? October. Oh my gosh, guys, I don't even want to say that word. October has literally been the worst month of my life. I didn't even start from the beginning, guys. October started off the worst. Like, it was the worst month. So on top of being pregnant, I got COVID. Yes, I got COVID on October 1st, the beginning of the month. I was really sick, guys. COVID is not anything to play with. If you've ever had it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is the devil. Like, the first 3-4 days, I was not eating. I was throwing up. I was coughing. My taste, my smell were gone. They were non-existent. My body was weak. Like, I would not wish this on anybody. It is not a good feeling. It's worse than a flu, I would say. Like, it was horrible. And on top of that, I was pregnant, guys. So you could really understand what a big issue that was, me being pregnant and having COVID. So like I said, I wasn't eating, so baby wasn't getting nutrients. I was trying to eat, but nothing was staying down. I was throwing up. So I was sick. I was sick for, like, I would say a good 4 days of being sick. And then the rest of the days, because I did have to quarantine for 10 days, I was getting better. And yeah, that was that. Like being sick on top of my pregnancy hormones and symptoms. It wasn't fun, guys. It wasn't fun. So I quarantined for 10 days. So from October 1st to October 10th, I was in quarantine. Oh no, not the 10th. I think they gave me until the 13th. So until the 13th, I was quarantined. I was home. I missed Thanksgiving, guys. I couldn't even taste. I had my parents bring me a plate. I couldn't even taste anything. Like it was the worst. So I missed Thanksgiving. I was just sick, guys. It was the worst. So yeah, COVID happened. I was about like probably going on 3 months at that point. So yeah, I quarantined for 10 days, so until the 13th. And then I went back to work for about a week and a half. So one day, this is when my whole miscarriage happened, guys. One day at work, it was a Friday. No, not even, it didn't even start at work. It started at home Thursday night. So Thursday night, I just started feeling these really sharp pains on the right side of my stomach. And on the right side, I know I have a huge fibroid. So I have a really big fibroid on the right side of my uterus, I believe it is, just on the right side of my stomach. And the only time I feel pain from that is when my period comes. So yeah, I started feeling that pain, but it wasn't a consistent pain. It was a pain that would start on and just be super excruciating pain for like a whole minute or a minute and a half. Just really excruciating pain, y'all. Like I thought I was dying for that 1 minute. And then it would subside, and then I wouldn't feel pain for like a good 5 minutes. And then again, I felt that pain. So I was up the whole night, Thursday night, going into Friday morning. So Friday morning, I go to work. I did take Tylenol because I thought maybe if I took some Tylenol, the pain will subside, the pain will go away. No, y'all. Friday at work was a disaster for me. Like I could not work. I could not stand up. The pain started to get worse and more consistent, like more closer together. It was kind of like, I have never experienced contractions, so I don't know what contractions feel like, but the way it was coming on and off and like in different intervals, it was pretty much like contractions. So I worked a whole 9-hour shift in pain, guys. I can't believe I did that. I don't know. So many times during that day, I was like, I need to go home. I need to go to the hospital. I need to leave. But I just soldiered it and worked through it. And yeah, so that whole Friday, I was in pain. So yeah, I texted my boyfriend and I told him like, I'm in so much pain. I worked the whole day. Like, I don't know, like I feel like I want to go to the hospital because nothing's working. I'm taking Tylenol, nothing's working. Usually I take Advil, but when you're pregnant, you cannot take Advil. And the Tylenol was not doing anything. So I said, I want to go to the hospital. So after work, he took me to the hospital, and I hate hospitals, guys. I hate hospitals with a passion. Give me 1 second. So yeah, we got to the hospital, and like I was saying, I hate hospitals, guys. I do not do hospitals, and it's funny because I'm probably in the hospital probably at least once a year. It's like the world is out to get me. I've experienced hospital visits a lot, and it sucks. It really does suck. But anyway, so we got to the hospital, and because of all of this COVID bullshit, sorry for the swearing, but because of everything that's going on with COVID, they were not allowing anybody else to come in. So my boyfriend wasn't even able to come in with me. So they said only patients, anybody who is going through, you know, anyone who has pain or whatever, whoever the patient is, that's who they're letting in, and nobody else. And obviously I fought and fought, tried hard. I'm like, you know, like, I cannot stand up, like, I'm in so much pain, I need him here. Like, they were just like, no, he's not allowed unless he's an interpreter for you. So unless like you can't communicate, that's the only reason they will allow someone else in with the patient. So unfortunately, babe couldn't come, and I was so sad because I hate hospitals, and on top of that, I'm gonna be here alone, and on top of that, I'm in so much pain. It was a disaster. So yeah, they checked me into the hospital, guys. I was still in a lot of pain, and it actually got a lot more worse once I got there. It's like, as the hours went by, the pain was just more unbearable. So I pretty much waited maybe four hours, because I think I got there around 7. No, I didn't get there. I think I got there around 8 p.m. And I didn't see a doctor until like 11. So yeah, like a good 4 hours, I didn't see a doctor. I was just waiting. And it was really hard, guys, especially being alone. Babe stayed in the parking lot for me. He didn't leave or anything, which is good. I just really wish someone was with me, because the experience was not a good experience. An experience at the hospital for me is never a good experience. So anyways, I finally saw the doctor. So they said, okay, we're gonna do an ultrasound for you, but there was no ultrasound available at that time of night. So they scheduled me to come back in the morning for 9 a.m. for an ultrasound. But in the meantime, they sent me home with just a pain reliever, which did absolutely nothing, guys. So I left the hospital around 11-12, went back home. And when I went back home, guys, let me tell you, the whole time since work, I was in pain. Like, it was, I don't know how to even explain what I was going through, guys. I felt like dying. I felt like someone was just inside my stomach, just grinding up every little organ. And like, it was the worst pain I felt ever. If that is not what pregnancy feels like, or giving birth, I don't know what is, because that was the worst pain I've experienced. So I went back home, guys, and that was around 12 a.m. I got home. I couldn't sleep once again because I was in pain, and then I felt, ladies, you know when you feel like something came out of you? Yeah, so I ran to the bathroom and I discovered I started bleeding. So I was bleeding, guys, and that's when I panicked. That's when I panicked, because I was like, I am bleeding now. My baby is in danger now. Like, I am bleeding. So I started bleeding. I went to the bathroom. That was the first time I went to the bathroom. And then I came back in the room, woke my boyfriend up, because he was kind of like in and out of sleep. So I woke him up and I was like, babe, like, I'm bleeding. He's like, are you serious? We have to go back to the hospital. And I'm like, yeah, like, we have to go back. But before that, I'm like, oh, but I gotta go to the bathroom again, because I felt like more liquid come out. Like, it was like it was a lot of liquid that came out. So I went back to the bathroom and I saw that clear liquid was coming out. So it's like my water broke. So that was when I just knew that something was wrong. That's when I knew something was wrong. I was bleeding and my water broke. So I was like, yeah, let's go. Like, let's go back to the hospital. And this was around maybe 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. So it was still, you know, too early to do my ultrasound, which they had booked at 9 a.m. But I'm like, you know what, I have to go back because now I'm bleeding. I wasn't bleeding before. So we went back to the hospital, and guys, they did absolutely nothing. They let me sit there and wait until my appointment. I told them I started bleeding. I wasn't bleeding before, and my water broke. And they said, okay, like, we're gonna do an ultrasound and see what's going on. So they let me wait They literally let me wait until my original appointment. I was so mad, guys. Like, I feel like they could have done something to... I felt they really could have done something, but being a black girl in the hospital is no fun, no walk in the park. So yeah, I waited until my original ultrasound, 9 a.m. in pain, bleeding, chunks of blood. Let me see if I could put a picture, because I did take a picture. If you are sensitive to these things, you can skip, but I am gonna put a picture here and show you guys the big chunks of blood that was coming out of me. So yeah, 9 o'clock came, still in pain, still bleeding. Had to change my pad probably every 20-30 minutes, guys. It was really bad. I was bleeding up the seats. Nurses were like, do you need more pads? Like, of course I need more pads. Like, you guys don't know what I'm going, like, do you guys understand what's going on here? Like, I literally felt no one was doing anything. No one was doing anything. Everything I came in was like destroyed from the amount of blood that kept seeping through. They gave me the biggest pads that they had, and still, like, it was a lot of blood, guys. So anyways, my ultrasound came, they did the ultrasound, and then they sent me back to wait again. And that's when the doctor came in and told me my results of my ultrasound. So the results of my ultrasound were that, one, there was no water surrounding my baby. So like I said, my water broke. There was no water surrounding my baby, and he said that's already grounds for like a real high chance of no survival, like no survival. On top of that, baby still had a heartbeat, but the heartbeat was very low. It was, I believe he said 40 when it should have been like 100 or more, something like that. So it was a very low heartbeat, and there was no water. So immediately I was like, wow. Like, I just knew right then and there, like, I lost my baby. I lost my baby, you know, like, I asked, what is there, like, what can I do to, is there any way that we could save my baby? And he said, no, like, we can wait it out and see what happens, but that would require me continuing to be in pain. So he gave me a second option, and that was to obviously terminate the pregnancy. And with that, he would give me some pills, and that would flush out the pregnancy. And then the third option is to do a surgery to remove the baby. That was out of the question for me. I didn't want to go under the knife. I didn't want a surgery. So it was either I wait it out and see what happens, which will require me to just take painkillers and wait and see what, like, or to terminate the baby. So I asked him for a moment, called hubby outside, asked him, what are we doing? These are the three options. It doesn't look like I'm leaving here happy. It doesn't look like a happy ending for us in terms of keeping the baby. And we ultimately just decided to end the pregnancy. Baby didn't have any water to survive in. The baby's heart rate was already low. So yeah, we decided to just take the pill and just flush the baby out. So yeah, I experienced a miscarriage, guys. The worst experience. I was admitted in the hospital, and they gave me the pills, and from then, that's where the whole, I guess, process starts. I started bleeding more. Cramps. I started getting cramps, which he did explain that would happen. So yeah, I was just literally laying there while my baby's life was being terminated. And I knew once I got to this point that I would start crying. So I did get to see my baby. It was literally the size of my hands. I saw the legs, I saw the feet, y'all, I'm very sensitive, so, you know, I saw what I can and that was it. I didn't want to hold my baby or anything. I saw it and that was enough to know that I was able to carry and create a life when I thought for years I couldn't. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I lost my baby and I went through this a second time. It's not a great feeling, guys, and this is exactly why I want to do the video now, because I'm still at that point where when I think about it or think about the whole experience, I cry. I'm still in the grieving stage and I want to be completely vulnerable with you guys and just show you that I'm human and I go through these things too. What I'm doing to cope is trying to be around people, my loved ones, my family. My parents are super supportive. My boyfriend is super supportive. My boyfriend's mom is super supportive. So I have people around me who genuinely care and love me. And I try to stay around them where they can, you know, keep my mind out of, you know, thinking about what happened. But when I am alone and in my own space between four walls, guys, it's hard. It's so hard. Because I found myself just sitting there and thinking about the whole experience, crying, asking, why me? Why does this happen to me? Why does it always have to happen to me? Why? The famous thing I say is why. Like, why? So yeah, I try to be around people. I try to do things, be productive, not just lay around and do nothing. Although I did do that for the first couple of days, but I realized that I need to get up and move, or else I'm gonna be stuck. I'm gonna be stuck in this whole cycle where I am just sleeping, eating, crying, and that's it. Like, I don't want to be in that cycle. So I'm really trying to just find things to do. For example, YouTube, guys. I was really thinking, oh, let me just grieve it out and then come to you guys and explain everything. But I said, no. Why not do it now while I'm in the grieving stage? Be vulnerable. Be open. Don't be afraid. Share your story. So yeah, I'm really trying to just get back in the groove of everything. Just really just embrace the whole experience and understand that, you know, God makes no mistakes. It just wasn't my time, and He has better for me. Right now, even I knew it wasn't the right time for a baby. Like, and I wasn't even planning. This was not planned. This was not, I didn't try to have a baby. It just happened. God just gave me this experience. And I'm so grateful for the experience, because I now believe that I am able to give life. Because for a long time, for years, guys, I was always wondering if I would be able to even have children. Because, like I said, my ectopic pregnancy video, if you haven't seen, I did have to remove one of my fallopian tubes So I have one fallopian tube to rely on top of a huge fibroid, maybe even more fibroids. I don't know how much fibroids I have. I know I have just one really big pedunculated fibroid, which is the one that kind of has a stem. It kind of like, it's on the outside of the uterus. So I have some issues that I really need to work on internally. I do want to get that fibroid removed and just start eating more healthier, just really preparing my body and myself for my future. For in the future, when I do want to get pregnant, I want to be the healthiest I can. So that's where my mindset is at in terms of, you know, just getting better and growing from the situation. But yeah, guys, that was my miscarriage experience. I really hope this is the last experience I go through. Third time is a charm. And I'm just having hope for the future, for my future, and just gonna continue to trust and have faith that God has my back. God has a plan to prosper me, to lead me to a great pregnancy, a great life, a great family, happiness, abundance, all of that good stuff. So I'm just going to continue to have faith in him and trust that this was his plan and everything's going to work out from here on out. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, this is me being open, being vulnerable with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you are new to my channel and haven't subscribed, make sure you are subscribed. Leave any comments, encouraging comments, guys, because I need it. Prayers, leave it down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.